Let's go. We are here. It's the wheel, dude. What's good? What's good? Shout out to everybody tuning in. Another great week of college football is upon us. Today we got Mr. Bucknut straight out of Ohio in the building. You know what time it is? We had a crazy week last week. Crazy week. Put some respect on the Sun Belt. They know what's going on. We feeling good right now. Anthony Richardson for Heisman. You seen the plays. The state of Florida is back. Florida State, Miami. Bucknuts coming in.
What's up, man?
What's up, dude? We're officially back on it, big dog. We're officially back on it.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I'm happy to get back together.
I heard that, man. It's
everybody goes through their ups and downs.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I'm glad that you're standing strong right now. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Mr. Jordan Ashton on here. He's over the Bucknut Podcast. We formed an alliance, and this gonna be the start of a series. We're gonna have biased fans from up north, and we're gonna have biased fans from down south. And we're gonna share our series, and we're gonna make it happen. The Real Deal X Bucknut Scoop. Let's go. All right, Jordan, talk to me, man. Last week we seen a lot of things go on. We seen teams out the state of Florida rise up. We seen the Heisman contenders that we think may do it, show that they belong there. You start off with me, Jordan. Give me your just tell me about your experience of your first college game, your first week of college football.
I really enjoyed it. I mean, going from watching, Florida State, they impressed me. That game was just nail biting.
Yes, sir.
I mean, I don't like Chip Kelly, so I was pulling for Florida State.
Okay.
And then what surprised me the most was the Florida Gators pulling off that win against number 7 Utah. Yeah. Utah was supposed to be a
big time team.
They were they were Pac-12's only team that only had a chance to reach the playoff, and they ended up losing in the swamp. They actually raised Florida from unranked to number 12.
Really?
They went from unranked to number 12, which is one of the biggest jumps in AP poll history.
Oh, I seen that. And one thing about it, when the Florida Gators pack out the swamp, it's nothing like it. Nothing like it. It's dang near as intimidating as Texas A&M in the 12th man. We'll get to
that or later. the wide out.
Yes, sir. The wide out. Yep. The wide out Penn State, correct?
Yep, wide outs at Penn State. I mean, even at the shoe.
The shoe. I hope we get a few games in this year. I'm gonna see what I can do. I got family in Ohio, and hey, we'll go to a couple games.
We need to try. We definitely need to try. We need to try that Scarlet out against Wisconsin, and then you have the 150th year anniversary of the shoe upcoming in 2 weeks against who is it? Toledo. They played prime time. That'd be a cool experience to shoot live before the game.
Okay.
Like going off track a little bit, but I hope that we get to grow our brand.
Yes, sir.
We get to grow into something big. You and I. We had our ups and downs and everything, but
we back in business.
Yes, sir. But the team who impressed me the most / player was Georgia.
Georgia, they did look really impressive, didn't they?
For how many players they lost, and then Stet the Jet went off, proving all his haters wrong.
Yes, sir.
Against their old defensive coordinator, man, they just blew the doors off. What was it, 49-0 or something like that?
Something similar to it. He looked really good.
Got to see Bo Nix choke some more.
Yeah. Bo is officially my duck of the week. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, literally, Bo is the duck of the week. Awful playing by Bo Nix. He should definitely go sell car insurance or something.
Yeah, he needs to post his resume on Indeed.
He needs to, dude. He'd kill Carson. Kill Carson.
Also, I know Ohio State's my team. Their defense really impressed me against Notre Dame because I believe Notre Dame is a very good team.
Mm-hmm.
Their defense, they allowed 272 total yards. 183 of those yards were on 6 plays.
Mm-hmm.
And only allowed 79 or 71 yards over the next 42 plays.
This Ohio State?
Yes.
The Buckeyes, I did watch a lot of the old North teams, man. Looking at the Big Ten, dude. So I watched South Dakota State versus Iowa, and to be honest,
man, that was
painful. That was a painful game, dude. Iowa, I actually did some research on Iowa, and whatever the great coach name or whatever it is, that's been there that's been there since '99. Where the Big Ten title at? I mean, they shared one in 2004, but the last time they outright won one was like '88.
Yeah.
He's officially on my hot seat, dude. I mean, come on now. I see you put tight ends in the league, but you dang near getting beat by a FCS team, fear the FCS, South Dakota State. Not North Dakota State, South Dakota State. Where my tight end for the Eagles come from. What's his name? The tight end for the Eagles. Dallas Goedert. Dallas Goedert?
Yeah.
Yeah, shout out South Dakota State. But that Big Ten is shaky, dude.
I really think Ohio State, they looked like the Georgia last year.
The Georgia
how they had that close game with Clemson.
Okay. I honestly, I would say Notre Dame has a pretty good defense. That's a pretty good football team. The Brian Kelly, they beat LSU right now.
Yeah.
Easily.
Yeah, they'd beat them easily.
They'd easily beat.
Kayshon Boutte is in the transfer portal.
Is he officially in there?
Yep.
Ooh. Now where would it? I can see him going to OSU.
I don't think I'd like to see him go to OSU. I don't think he's a fit, like personality wise.
Okay, it ain't too many Terry McLaurin or Curtis Samuels. Is
he's not one. He wants all the targets.
Quick break. Shout out Commanders, baby. Shout out to the Commanders, baby. Shout out to the Commanders. Yes, sir. Shout out to the Commanders.
But yeah, like I said, UGA. What was your take on week 1, week 0?
My take on week 1 was definitely. I was really impressed with the Sun Belt to start off. I got started off early with Old Dominion, newly arrived Sun Belt team knocking off Virginia Tech.
Yeah.
I was the Appalachian State game, the Appalachian State versus UNC, which I actually had as like an upset, but it was a great game or whatnot. It was super high scoring, like 63, 60, you know what I mean? 59.
63 to 62.
Yes. And Appalachian State plays Texas A&M this week. But unfortunately,
that's early.
But unfortunately, they going to College Station, so I really can't pick Appalachian State to win that game. Just to be totally honest, I would like to pick them for an upset. You know what I mean? But no, it ain't happening. It's not happening. It's not happening.
I don't think it would be a blowout. Like,
no, they look mediocre this week.
I think North Carolina their offense is better than Texas A&M.
Could quite possibly be, but I don't know. I don't know about that. Okay, what else I thought about this past weekend was the ACC is just pretty much like mid. It's weak, like the whole ACC conference. I mean, shout out to Florida State for what they did, and shout out to Miami for making that move. But as far as the other teams, Clemson, okay, they scored late. But the ACC is really mid-tier football right now, in my personal opinion.
Yeah.
It's really...
Yeah, NC State about got beat by Eastern Carolina.
Yeah, dude, the ACC is looking bad.
Missed field goal away. Missed extra point away
Virginia
from
Tech.
losing that game.
Mm-hmm.
Clemson didn't even really look that good.
No, dude. The quarterback's just not it. He could be up for Duck of the Week alongside Bo Nix. But you know what I mean? He did okay. They should let the freshman Cade Cooper go ahead and take the reins, similar to how they did Trevor Lawrence and the other quarterback.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude. Besides that, the teams that really stood out to me was, of course, the Georgia Bulldogs. They look really, really good to me on all cylinders. Lad McCaskey, whoever that kid is, can ball. Brock Bowers, McCaskey really was taking all the shine, to be honest.
Yeah.
It just looks so elite. The freshman Malachi Starks is the best thing I've seen since Derek Stingley Jr. 26, 24 looks like a Sean Taylor out there, George.
Yeah, he definitely does.
You know who I'm talking about?
Yes, I know who Sean Taylor is.
No, I mean the freshman for Georgia.
Yes.
He looks good.
He's an absolute stud.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Georgia didn't miss a beat, or Oregon's just that bad. That's the question.
Bo Nix is that bad. Bo, he is. He's sack. He is sack. That is my duck.
That's the thing about week one. That's the thing about week one. You don't know because you can't really tell what team's going to be dominant because you don't know if the team they're playing is that bad or they're that good.
Okay.
Until we get a little bit further in the season.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like that. What's that tight end's name?
For who?
For he's like 6'7", 270 pounds for Georgia.
Oh my God. The tight
end
from Las Vegas.
Yeah. Oh my God.
His name's on the tip of my tongue, but that guy is a monster. When I seen him, I said, Lord have mercy on him.
Him and Brock Bowers together.
Gosh. Yeah. Dude, I was just looking at some of their sets, dude. They was running like a 2 tight end, 2 wide out set tight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Who's calling those plays? Who do they got?
Oh man. I don't know. Trying to think. Can't remember.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta find that out. But
heard that. It ain't Orson Charles. It's what's the guy's name? Oh man, my uncle knows. He know it for sure. He know it for sure. Give me 1 second, George. 1 second. Let me check.
Since you named your hot seed, I got Scott Frost. No shocker there.
Dude, he's heating.
Man. Dude, he literally lost Northwestern on just a stupid decision on doing the onside kick.
Mm-hmm.
You could have changed.
Man. Yeah, that was awful, dude.
He could have changed the direction of his season
by
beating Northwestern, and then he turned it for the worst. Like everything he does turns their program. I just dropped my phone. Turns their program from possibly having a decent year, 9-3 year or something like that, 8-4, to now. I bet you they go 500, maybe not even bowl eligible.
Oh, definitely. Or perhaps Northwestern is just a pretty strong team. Northwestern isn't a bad team, dude.
Well, it is an even year.
I can say Northwestern is a natural Big Ten football team.
Yeah, I can see them being challenged. But man, Minnesota looked tough. I mean, even though they played, forget who they played, like Idaho State or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Is Abraham back?
Yep.
And how's he looking?
He had 180 something yards on 16 carries or something.
No way.
If I remember right.
Goodness. What did he rush for on Ohio State last year?
Shoot. He was close to 200.
Close to 200?
Before they would have beat us that game if he wouldn't have got injured.
You think okay? It takes a man to admit that.
Back on the Nebraska thing, mm-hmm. I think Scott Frost is gone after the Oklahoma game. After Oklahoma embarrasses them.
After Oklahoma,
because that's a whole different ball. That's a whole different ball team. With oh man, I'm having a brain fart right now. What's his name? Guy from Clemson.
From Clemson, Dabo?
No, the defensive coordinator that went to Oklahoma.
Oh, Brent Venables.
Yeah, Brent Venables. They're going to have an offense, plus they're going to have a defense.
Okay.
They're going to be a good team this year. I think they're going to send Scott Frost on his way out the door.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So yeah, besides that, I could possibly send my alma mater, my former alma mater's head coach and current West Virginia coach Neil Brown getting on the hot seat. He's been there for at least 4 to 5 years this year. He lost a big game this past weekend with Pitt, aka the Backyard Brawl. And yeah, I remember when he got the contract and left Troy or whatnot, it was a contract that basically like changed his life, like 16 mil over like six years, some big, 23 mil or something like that. It was a big time job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I mean, he has his guys, but I still put him in that whole Billy Napier, Scott Frost. Mm-hmm. Well, Scott Frost. Those younger guys, I can't put them in the Bill. I take that back. I can't put them in Billy Napier's bracket because Billy Napier just had that's the best way to come in as a head football coach.
Yes.
Is it not?
Nah, it's perfect, man. I think Florida's up to something big. I think he's bringing a different type of energy.
And he was Louisiana Lafayette's coach last year, and they owned the Sun Belt for the past 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Owned the Sun Belt. Owned it.
I mean, he's recruiting well. I mean, he just got that new facility put in that's going to bring recruits in from Florida, hopefully to keep those Florida recruits from going out of state.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he's on the uprise.
For sure. For sure.
But,
yeah, Billy Napier. Well, to be honest with you, Mike Norvell, that was a big win for him too. That's a win that could change his. That's the win that could change his college coaching career. That was the biggest win of his life.
Man, I don't think Florida State's back. I think they'll have.
They can play with some momentum. They can play with some momentum. They can play because he inherited Florida State in a awful situation. The guy didn't have a chance.
I could say they're going to lose to Clemson. Really, all I could see them losing to in the ACC is Clemson. They could lose. They'll lose 2 games. They'll lose Clemson, and they'll lose against Florida.
I don't know if it's in Florida State. Anything's possible. You know, if it's in Doak Walker, anything's possible.
Miami.
Huh?
They could lose against Miami also.
Does Miami look good to you?
Man, you can't really tell with a high school team that they play. I mean, you could score 70. They could score 70 points on a high school team, but we'll see what they do in the next couple weeks after they get off their cupcake schedule.
Okay. Yeah, but I will put their quarterback in the Heisman run.
What's your top 4 right now?
My top 4 teams?
Or your top 4 Heisman?
My top 4 Heisman. Okay, so I'm going to start with I'm going to start with Bryce Young at number 4, simply because he won the Heisman last year. And to be quite honest, I do not see them giving it to a player 2 years in a row. But
he's not gonna do the same thing that Archie Griffin did.
Nah, definitely not, because he's not the best quarterback. I actually like your quarterback up in the north. I do like your quarterback up in the north a lot more than Bryce Young. But Bryce did look really, really good. So, okay, Bryce at 4. I'm gonna go Stroud at 3. I'm very, very impressed with him. At 2, I'm not going Will Anderson Jr. Sorry, Alabama fans, but there's way better players in the country than a defensive end linebacker. What does he play? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't think better would be the word. I think it would be. It's more of an offensive award. It's not a defensive award. It's more of an offensive award. If they had something, similar to that for defensive players, I think he'd be in the league for that. But
number 2 is kind of hard, but I kind of want to put Stetson Bennett right there right now. That's
I like it.
That's the dream. That's the dream. That's the dream kid right there. Awesome story with Stetson Bennett. When we walked on in Georgia. Went to Jones Junior College in Ellisville, Mississippi, close to Mill, you know what I mean, where I'm from.
Mm-hmm.
And he's really perfected his craft as a quarterback. Like, the kid looks really, really profound now. I'm not gonna say NFL material. He maybe could be like a Taylor Heineke or a Case Keenum type guy. I'm not 100% how strong his arm is.
I could see him being like a
solid backup.
Yeah.
Yeah, like kind of like a Taylor Heineke. I don't know if he's fast as Taylor.
I think he's like similar to Manziel. He kind of brings that swag.
Okay, he could possibly do good in some of the other leagues like USFL or possibly, you know what I mean, if the XFL does do his thing, but he could be one of those guys, a Brandon Silvers type guy. But that's with 2. And 1, I'm gonna go with none other than the Florida Gators quarterback, Anthony Richardson. I've seen enough. I honestly have seen enough.
Man,
He's possibly the best thing I've seen since Cam Newton. To be completely honest.
Let's see how the season goes. But it's
Yes.
funny because me and you, we have the same people on our list.
Where
I have Anthony Richardson at number 4, Stetson at number 3, CJ at 2, and Bryce at 1. Just because it was after week 1, you could have a 1A and 1B between Bryce Young and CJ.
CJ just if CJ goes undefeated this year, he wins the Heisman.
You look at you look at Bryce Young and CJ Stroud's stats. So CJ, he went 24 of 34 for 223 with 2 touchdown passes. Bryce Young had 18 for 28, 195 yards, 5 touchdowns, 5 carries, 100 yards, 1 but you look at their opponent, Utah State and a top 10 Notre Dame, at the time top 5. They dropped them to number 9 after this week. That there shows that people believe that Notre Dame's that strong. They're a top 10 team. And you look at those stats there, you expect those numbers, 5 touchdowns, 6 total touchdowns against a Utah State team. Against CJ played the whole game without his top receiver and JSN. He pulled his hamstring.
So give me an update on JSN.
He's out for they're going to rest him for 2 weeks. Okay. Which we're playing cupcake teams. We're playing Arkansas State, and then we play Toledo.
Toledo. Ohio has some good football, dude. One thing about the state of Ohio is you can catch a multitude of Division I football teams in the different areas that's around Ohio. That's pretty cool.
Yep. And then, of course, I have Stetson Bennett on there. He just showed out 25 of 31, 368 yards passing, 2 touchdowns.
And
one rushing touchdown.
He's become a perfectionist of his game.
Yes, and then I have Anthony Richardson, 17 of 24, 168 yards passing, no touchdown passes, but 11 carries for 106 yards and 3 touchdowns. He is a stud. That fake spin. He did a 360 spin fake and then ran it in. That's crazy.
Unreal.
I'd say Florida is going to be a team to watch this year with him. As long as he keeps the turnovers. That was his problem last year. He threw too many interceptions.
But new coach and new system.
Yes.
New coach, new system.
He looked like a different quarterback on what I watched of that game.
Yes, sir.
I went back and watched the game on YouTube, and he just looked like a completely different quarterback.
So obviously Mullen was recruiting pretty well because Billy Napier has a pretty solid team down there in Florida. You know what I'm saying?
He just wasn't the coach.
Yeah, Florida is that deal, man. Florida is that deal, bro.
But that's funny that me and you actually
had the same
agreed
4
on the top 4. Yep.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I definitely was watching everything. I was tuned in Thursday. I actually went and checked the UAB game out last Thursday. They played Alabama A&M and slaughtered them. Okay, let's move forward. Way too early playoff predictions.
I have Alabama at number 1, Georgia at 2, Ohio State at 3, and Teton at 4.
Oh, so 2 teams from the Big Ten make it this year.
And 2 teams from the SEC.
Oh man, so you have Bama. You said Bama, correct?
Bama, Georgia, Ohio State and Michigan. I think they'll all go undefeated into the season until they play each other.
Okay.
And then basically between Ohio State and Teton, they'll face off. Whoever wins that goes to the Big Ten championship. I think they'll give a 11-1 Teton team a chance to be in the playoff over, I say, like, if they play Ohio State better than what Notre Dame did, and that's hard to play tougher against, more tough against Ohio State than what Notre Dame did.
Okay.
Because Notre Dame was, I think my 2 out would probably be Clemson and Notre Dame.
Okay. That was just telling me that the meeting will end in 10 minutes. So when it ends in 10 minutes, we'll just hop back on here for. So
right.
I was just letting you know that that's what the screen had just told me. So okay, so let's imagine this scenario. What if? Wait, first of all, does Bama play Florida this year in the regular season?
I don't think so.
Okay, so that's one of those years they don't.
Who's their East teams that they play this year?
They play Rocky Top every year. They play Rocky Top.
They play 2 East teams in a season. So
yeah, they played Florida. They played Florida last year and didn't play Georgia.
Yeah, so they'll play Georgia. Will they play Georgia in the regular season this year?
I don't know. Let's check it out real fast. Let's see who does Bama play. Let's see if Alabama plays these guys. Alabama football schedule. No, sir. They don't play Florida or Georgia this year in the regular season. What a cakewalk.
What do they play?
What a cakewalk, right? What a cakewalk.
Play Tennessee and what, South Carolina?
Tennessee and out of the East, it's just like Tennessee and
Vanderbilt,
yeah. What a cakewalk. What a cakewalk compared to some of the other teams that have to square off. Good God. Auburn plays Georgia and Bama every year. You know what I
mean? All they have, dude, is what? Tennessee is a potential upset.
Yeah. They
Texas have to A&M, but I don't think A&M is going to do it in 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
Because they play at Bama this year, so there's no chance.
Yeah, it's almighty.
Who else? They say the SEC schedule, but I mean, if you look at if you put teams against Big Ten, East and West,
Arkansas. They play
Arkansas. Arkansas's tough, but
they can play. They play Arkansas on October the 1st.
I don't think Arkansas is that good, man.
But they got it. They have a stretch. They're here. Their stretch, Alabama stretch right now is Arkansas, A&M, Tennessee, and they easily could win all 3 of those games without breaking the sweat.
Well, I think Tennessee's going to challenge them.
Tennessee
I think that's more of an upset game than. Isn't it at Rocky Top?
It's at Rocky Top this year, baby. It is at Rocky Top.
I think it could be a potential upset for Bama.
It could. It is that. Shout out to David C. Sportsman, man. Shout out to the big Tennessee fan. My guy from Mississippi.
Because I don't think A&M has a shot. Okay. I'd probably bet my whole paycheck on Alabama just smoking A&M.
For sure. I don't know because Jimbo is a really good coach, but and he has a very talented young team at that. Haynes King is not the answer for the Texas A&M Aggies, and that's Center.
They struggled, man, on Saturday.
They did, which I can't. I shout out to Sam Houston State. That's one of the best teams in the FCS. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but still,
that's one of the best teams in the FCS. You know,
if you're number 6 in the country, you should be able to roll over a good FCS program. Especially
they're
not a top 10 team, but they're unranked.
They're unranked. So let me ask you this: Iowa State this week. Who you got?
Iowa State.
Iowa State.
I didn't even see Iowa State play. I don't even know what they did.
They look me neither, but they look pretty good, Jordan. They look pretty good, dude. Let's look at some of these games coming up, man. Iowa State. Who else?
My games of the week.
What's your games of the week?
I'm gonna say, of course, Alabama, Texas, UAB, Liberty, South Carolina, and Arkansas, App State and Texas A&M, and then you have that big rivalry, Kentucky and Florida.
Florida destroys Kentucky this week. It makes it known they're one of the top teams in the country.
Yeah, I think Billy Napier, big, like 38-17, something like that.
Watch Billy Napier ride that wave and take them to the promised land. Yeah. Florida is that deal for sure. Okay, what else? What's your other game of the week, Joy?
Honestly, I like South Carolina at Arkansas. I believe that's a potential upset.
Okay.
But that's going to depend on Rattler because he threw 2 picks against Georgia State.
Against Georgia State last week?
Yeah.
And Georgia State played somebody this week that I said could be a potential upset. Who does Georgia State play this week?
I don't know.
Georgia State has...
But my upset alert of the week is Texas A&M against App State.
That's not happening. I don't
think it's a lock though.
You don't think it's?
I think it's gonna be, it's gonna be a close game. I think North Carolina's offense is definitely better than A&M.
Mm-hmm.
But A&M's defense is pretty decent. But I think Chase Bryce and the App State Mountaineers are gonna come ready to play.
Hey, I actually met him when I was at Troy. He used to date a girl. Yeah, he used to date a girl on the softball team from Georgia. Her name's Stephanie Schneider. She used to play softball at Troy or whatnot. And yeah, that was his high school girlfriend. And out of high school, he actually committed to Clemson or whatnot. And
yeah, he played it with Clemson.
Yeah, and he was looking for a bright future, but Clemson ended up signing Trevor Lawrence the next year, which would, made both of them freshmen. Chase a red shirt and Lawrence a true freshman. I mean, Lawrence took off and Chase never got to develop, but he did develop as a quarterback at Clemson. It's obvious they developed great quarterbacks. And the Sun Belt's a breeze for this guy. We may need to try to get him on the interview. You know what I mean? We maybe can pull that out. He'll be Sun Belt Player of the Year now that Napier's not at Louisiana Monroe.
Yeah, easy.
Yeah, my upset was gonna be Tennessee over Pitt. I believe Tennessee takes down number 17 Pitt at Rocky Top this weekend.
Is Tennessee ranked this week?
No, they may be like 25. I'm not for sure, but I'll say that if they take down Pitt, they'll be at like 19.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I think they might be higher. I think they may be higher than that. I think Tennessee's gonna roll over Pitt. I wasn't that impressed with Pitt either.
Yeah, Kenny Pickett was a drop off. Losing Kenny Pickett was a major drop off for Pitt.
I think their defense is decent, but to slow down Hendon Hooker and that Tennessee offense. I don't see it happening at all. They're not going to be able to keep up with the scoring unless Tennessee's defense is horrible. But
I heard that. Yeah, well, yeah, I guess you would call it an upset. I honestly wouldn't call it an upset, but I kind of think Tennessee, because I honestly think Tennessee's a way better team to pick.
Yeah,
Tennessee should thump them. I'm not 100% if it's in Tennessee, but even if it's in Pitt, you know what I mean? A prepared Tennessee should definitely beat them.
If it's at Rocky Top, you might as well pencil in a lock right there.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think Tennessee's actually favored too.
Yeah, I think they're favored by like 25. If I'm mistaken. I'm looking at it now. What time is that game, George? Tennessee and Pitt. What time are they playing? Tennessee and Pitt.
Let's see. See if I can pull some magic up.
Maybe an 8 o'clock game.
Let's see. It's a 2:30 game on ABC. Tennessee's favored 6.5. Tennessee is number 24 team in the country. Pitt's number 17.
Tennessee's at 20.
It's at Pitt.
Okay. I still think Hendon Hooker comes in and you know throws for at least 300 plus against a poor Pitt defense.
Yep, I think Hendon Hooker's on the outlook of right on the outside of going to New York for the Heisman. If he can pull off an upset against Alabama and then win the East.
Yeah, he'd still have to beat Georgia.
He'll definitely be in New York.
He'd have to be. But hey, look, Tennessee look at this. Tennessee plays Bama and Georgia every year. Tennessee plays Bama, Georgia, Florida year in and year out.
That's tough.
That's tough, ain't it?
Yeah, that's very tough.
That's tough, year in and year out.
What you think about Auburn?
Auburn? From what I'm hearing there, Auburn pretty much Robbie Ashford is what I've been hearing. Tell me about. I don't know if you know anything on Robbie Ashford. I can say he's from Hoover, Alabama. And the quarterback, yeah, he's from Hoover. He was recruited by Cristobal at Oregon, and from what I hear, he was majorly recruited by Lane Kiffin as well at Ole Miss, but he decided to come to Auburn.
Didn't he go to Oregon and then he transferred out too?
Yeah, he transferred out when Cristobal left.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that allowed Bo Nix to transfer there.
Yep.
And Calzada from A&M comes to.
That's crazy that Finley won the job.
I think it's a pump fake by Brian Harsin.
Oh, did you hear about the AD for Auburn got fired? The one that hired Harsin.
When was this?
So they're saying that this was 2 weeks ago.
Okay, so what are they saying?
They're saying Harsin's definitely going to be gone after
this year.
After this year, yep.
Okay, so Auburn's one of those teams that's looking for a new coach.
Well, you know how political Auburn is. They're gonna he hired Harsin whenever the board didn't want Harsin.
So who does Auburn hire right now? Who will Auburn hire right now?
I have no idea, man. I don't know who the
hot commodities.
I don't know who the hot coaches on the upright. Maybe pay Kiffin a lot of money.
Not happening.
But
not leaving Ole Miss to go to that dump.
Not living the sip.
Nuh-uh. Yeah, it was views from the silk, baby. Not, but
But what's your views on the Alabama and Texas game?
Alabama, Texas. It's gonna
You
be
think it's gonna be a blowout?
It's gonna be really, really interesting to see what Jaleel Billingsley and also the other wide receiver out of Tampa, how they, perform. Ajayi Hall. And what I really want to see how Sarkisian, a former Alabama coach, really, you know what I mean? He's been undersaving, so he knows his tendencies. I'm excited about to see what's going to go on in the game because Texas is going to play the Alabama. Texas is going to play them. If it's a team that if it is a team that wanted to, alliterate itself and reestablish itself in college football, this would be the ultimate game for Texas.
Yep. It's at Texas, so
is it at Texas or is it at Dallas Cowboy Stadium?
It's at Texas.
It's at Cowboy Stadium, man.
No, it's at Texas.
It's at Texas?
Yeah, because Alabama's band isn't coming because Texas was going to put them all the way up in the nosebleeds.
Oh, okay. So we're talking about
like they did LSU's. Remember back a couple of years ago, they made a big deal about LSU's band being all the way up in the nosebleeds.
And Joe Burrow still faded.
Yep.
He faded that game. That's the game that I knew that kid was special. That's the game
Alabama's favored by 20.
By 20? And that kid,
I think it's a lock. I think that's my lock of the week is Alabama is going to. Yeah, I think Texas is going to put some points up, but I don't think they're there. I don't think Texas is there.
You don't think Texas is there?
I think the score prediction, probably about 55-31 Alabama. They cover.
55-31?
Yeah.
Okay. Sweet. 55-31. That's a good score. Alabama over Texas. You heard the Bucknut. 55-31 Alabama. Yeah, I expect Alabama to, be what the Tide does. Despite what Sarkisian may have thought, it didn't happen like that. Pump fake pivot. But that's just how it's gonna be. And until somebody can dethrone Saban, he is still the GOAT, and he's not going anywhere. I know it's been allegations if he's going to retire soon, but oh, coughing. Let me hit my grill one time.
The football gods were choking you whenever you said that Saban was going to retire.
I understand that, dude. But yeah, Alabama definitely steamrolls Texas, and Alabama first half is another one of my locks of the week. Along with what did I put down for my lock of the week? Lot of the week. Yeah, Georgia first half over Samford. Right, Samford. Shout out to Samford right here in Birmingham. Georgia first half over Samford. They should definitely cover whatever the spread is.
That's the money. That's the money in the bag. Money in the bag.
For sure.
Of the week.
For sure.
I think, Texas, I don't think they're a lock in the first half. Alabama's not, because I think it's going to be, fairly close, probably like a 10-point ball game at half. But I just don't think Texas has got it to hang with them all 4 quarters, unless Texas fans bring it. I mean, you never know. It's one of the toughest places in the country to play.
Yeah, one at the pinnacle of college football's best venue, the Texas Longhorns are, for sure.
But I think, Bryce Young and the Saban crew are gonna quiet that crowd real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I do like Bijan Robinson, as you know, last year I was high on him.
And who that
dude is?
Wait,
Quinn
so
Ewers.
This is Quinn Ewers to see what he's got, dude. If he's got the funk, man. If he's got
the number one, is he the number one overall recruit?
That's the thing that I want to like. If Quinn Ewers was this guy that he had so much hype up to be, he should go out here and get a win. He could be a dark horse for the Heisman if he beat Bama.
Mm-hmm.
Quinn Ewers beat Bama. He give him the Heisman right now.
But Alabama to lose 2 games in 2 years in the state of Texas, that will be very rare.
That would be very rare.
There's not that much on the slate. I mean, you have Kentucky, Florida, and Alabama, Texas. You have some smaller, South Carolina, Arkansas, some low profile good games that people don't really look at that could be interesting games to watch. I mean, that's how this first week was, but it's great that college football is back. It's awesome to be back together. That's all I got for this week, man.
That's all you got for this week. Awesome, Bucknut, dude. Well, yeah, man, I enjoyed
Go
you,
Bucks.
Dude. Go Bucks. Go Bucks. I'm looking. So you tell me right now, who's king of the North?
You know who I'm gonna say.
Who's king of the
Ohio
North?
State University.
Okay. The views from the shoe, baby.
We'll take that game back. I have 3 tickets to that Teton game. You have to make it up here in November.
Hey, is that a deal? Is that a deal? You got 3 tickets?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I have.
That's a deal.
I have one extra ticket, man.
I'm in there, dude. I'm in there.
And then we can have whoever is with us film it.
Me too,
film
man.
Our pregame, and
okay, we have a good time. I want to go to the Bourbon Urban that night. How does this sound?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do that, dude. Hey, hell yeah to that. All right, Joe. Well, I enjoyed you, dude. We'll have this content put up within the next couple days. Bucknut Scoop Podcast.
Let's get it rolling, man. Let's make it a consistent thing.
Okay.
Make it an every week.
Yes, sir. Again, it's something special. It had to be here.